here, PFC, the Podcast FC show, bringing you Premier League fantasy soccer talk for Matchday 99 for the Premier League. Man, let's get into it. We're going to review last week real quick, touch up on a few statistics, who got the highest points, who's in the top 5, where do the PFC hosts rank right now. But, man, let's open it up. Came in swinging, joined our league late. I think officially joined Matchday 9. Came in with 92 points right away off the top. We're talking about Thorny. You guys have heard him a couple times on the podcast. He's my cousin from South Africa. Came in to visit a few times. Finally decided to get up off his butt and join our league. And, man, he comes in swinging.
I mean, if he didn't wait so long, he wouldn't be second to last in the league.
I know. He's dragging down there. But, man, hey, if you're going to start, man, there's nothing wrong with starting with the 9 starting at the front of your score, dude. It's absolutely impressive. He triple captained Harry Kane. I'm sure you guys could have guessed that. Harry Kane absolutely having a ball of week, match day 9.
That was quite bold, too. It's a triple captain first week.
Yeah, I guess you're that far behind. You got to come in. You got to come in hard.
All right. So let's get into top 5. There wasn't really much movement. There was a little bit, but still in front. Well, actually, hold up. Not still in front because he wasn't there last week, but we got Kevlar with the icon. Still hasn't shown us how to do that. God, come on, Marty McFly. What the hell? Jeez, he's just keeping it for himself. Damn. Well, he got 53 on the week, so he's 541 total. So he gets top spot for the league. Second place, we got Wayne's Winners by Wayne Powell. He had 42 points on the week, so he's only 6 points behind at 535. Got Ali FC, Mohammed Helmi, 73 points on the week, which is pretty good because not too many people got above 70. So he's 529. He's also behind by 6 just to move up one spot. Then you get the ABCD Sean Maroney, 46 points, 515. And then Selection.
Yeah.
Joshua Blewett. I kind of like his actual name first.
Joshua Blewett.
Blewett. I wish that was his name.
I really like Blewett.
Yeah, that's true, but I hope it's Blewett. But
you would, Huss. You would.
Past tense. So it's 70 points on the week. He's 512 overall. He's sitting in 5th place. So, right behind him, he has 2 people with 511. So don't let it slip, or you'll be in 7th or 8th place real soon.
Definitely. Let's get into the host rankings. Chipping away, slowly climbing, although Huss is on the sliding to 17th place, 43 points on the week, 486 overall. Al in 35th place, also sliding, got 48 points on the week, 452 overall. Myself climbing, like I said I would, sitting in 39th with 65 points on the week, 448 overall. Tom chipping away as well. He's in 61st place with 46 points, 418 overall. And we got Fareed with 68 in 68th place, 34 points. 410 overall. Man, it's ugly down there.
Oh my God, I can't believe Fareed let Tom pass him.
I know. Those two are having a little relegation battle by themselves.
I mean, there goes all the jokes. Come on, Fareed.
Embarrassing. All right, let's get into buy, keep, risk, sell from last week. How did we do, Huss?
Oh man, we didn't do too great, but we didn't do horrible. So we got the buys. We had 15 overall points. The keeps, we had 23 overall points. The sells had 13. And I should have listened to Al. Actually, the next day, actually, because we were working together. And I told him about Wayne Rooney. He's like, "No, you kidding me? Wayne Rooney's going to score against Arsenal. He always scores against Arsenal." I was like, get out of here. I'm like, jeez, of all people. It's kind of like Fareed letting Tom pass. It's like, come on. It's kind of like Arsenal. Like, how? Just stop him. You got 5 goals. Why can't you just keep a clean sheet against these type of teams? But Al was right. I was wrong with Rooney. He got the 6 points, so that's really what bumped up to 13 points. And then at the risk, yowzers. Oh, my goodness. We got 5 points.
Oof.
But at the same time, I'm not too mad because Josh King, he has an illness. I did not know that, obviously. Stanislas got the point. So I did my gut feeling was correct with Bournemouth. Stanislas had a great week. And then Zaha, I was pretty right about that. But then we got Czech. Again, that risk. He got 1 point when I thought, because he could have got 2 points, but that whole misstep with him and Monreal at the end of the game where Monreal passed it too late and Czech, didn't clear it. It was just horrendous. And it hurt our staff.
Yeah, it was untidy.
So, all right, so that's last week. This week, favorable matchups. We got Arsenal versus Swansea, Liverpool versus Huddersfield, West Brom versus City, versus Chelsea, and Watford versus Stoke. That last one is almost like a in-between, because even though the Freed says it's the team to watch, which I'm talking about Watford, and they're starting to prove it, you could still see the cracks, the kinks in the armor going against Chelsea, where they're doing so well, then they let up all those goals at the end to end up losing 4-2. So that's a pain. Unfavorable matchups. We got United versus Spurs.
Oof.
I mean, obviously, we don't know what's going to happen with that one, because Mourinho, even though they got some injuries, he's a defensive master. He just has people packing in, hence park the bus. But Spurs, I mean, the way that they're playing, you can't doubt them to put a few in the net.
Yeah, with Harry Kane, you could say they have the second or third best attack in the league, man. They're absolutely potent. So who knows if Mourinho's sit back and park it tactics will even work against them. But that's why it's unfavorable. That it's too difficult to predict what's going to happen.
And then we got Palace versus West Ham, Brighton versus Southampton, Leicester versus Everton, Burnley versus Newcastle. So going straight into the goalkeepers right here. Talking about the game that we're just we're talking about Watford versus Stoke right before United Spurs. Watford versus Stoke. Even though that we always seem to find some sort of joke about this keeper, Gomes. I mean, the guy with the mouth guard, the guy that's been around forever, the guy that always seems to make such a miraculous save and then ends up on his head and just lets a roller in. He's 4.5, and he's only owned by 2.3. Let's look him up real quick. I want to get into Watford real quick. This guy, look, he's a wild card. Everyone knows that. Like I said, he makes some of the best saves you'll see, but at the same time, he just I don't know. He's just, you don't know with this dude. He's facing Stoke, and they haven't been the best. Stoke's only Stoke. They only have 10 goals for on the year, and it's Stoke away, and Stoke only has 4 goals away all year. So you know what, Watford, if they keep up their form, they should be at least nothing more than 1 goal, hoping for a clean sheet.
I like that.
We got Petr Cech. And I don't care about the mistake that he had with Monreal. This guy, he may not be the top class goalkeeper he once was, but he still has it to get a clean sheet against Swansea. Because look, Swansea at home. Let's look at Swansea away. Swansea away right now has 2 goals, 4 away from home. I mean, Swansea, come on now. You see Arsenal put in 5 against Everton. I still think Arsenal's offense is still going to demolish Swansea. Swansea. And it just I don't see how Arsenal doesn't get a clean sheet. If they don't, I consider that a disappointment.
I agree with that shout too, man. So far, so good. 2 for 2.
Wow, we're agreeing? Oh, okay. Here we go. Sell. We got Foster, West Brom. I'm selling him because West Brom is going against Man City. I don't care if it's home. But it's Man City. Anytime that any team's facing Man City, they're probably going to be a sell. They got Huddersfield away after that. Then they have Chelsea at home and Spurs away. I don't see anything really good in the horizons. Maybe Newcastle at home and Palace at home after those 4 games, but in the next 4 games, 1 point. 1 point against Huddersfield. The other ones they're going to get annihilated, and which I think they should. 4.5 price at, and then he's owned by 13.7% of the teams.
Yeah.
After that, we got De Gea for the risk pick. And at first, I mean, I was going to pick him for the sell, but it's De Gea and it's Mourinho. Look, they're facing Spurs at home and Chelsea away. Those are the next 2 games. If anyone looks at those games real quick and doesn't see that it's United, you see those 2 teams, you're thinking, sell, sell, sell. But it's Jose with his defensive tactics. It's David De Gea. And you know what? You might squeak out a clean sheet against the Spurs. And even if you do, you're looking at maybe 5 to 10 shots, maybe 12. So you're looking at extra points. This guy could actually score 10, 11, 12 points on the day.
I like that shot, man. It's actually a brave risk. It's one of those risks where I don't know if I have the stones to take it, but yeah, like you said, Man United defense behind Tottenham has been the best for the past couple of years. So if you're gonna take a risk on a goalkeeper against Tottenham and Chelsea, De Gea is probably the guy you want to put your money on.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still at 5.6, and he's owned by 39% of the teams. I don't see those 39% playing him, but that's a high percentage of people owning one player. So, moving on to defenders. Let's move on. His name is Yoshida. Southampton. You got Brighton away, Burnley at home. Now, Brighton away, how are they doing? Let's look at them real quick. I can't even find them. There they are. Brighton away, they have 4 goals for. I mean, that's not too great, but it's just one of those things about Yoshida, Southampton. I think they're starting to turn around. You got Virgil.
Goal difference?
The what?
Were you looking at the goal difference?
Yeah, well, I was looking at what Brighton had.
Gotcha.
For goals 4 away. But you know what? Since Virgil van Dijk has come in, I mean, they've done well. I mean, they only got the last clean sheet. They let 2 goals in the last 2 games before that against Newcastle, Stoke. But I just see, baby steps of improvement week in, week out. I see them doing well. Defensively, I'm not really worried about Southampton. It's always the offensive that I'm worried about with Southampton. So
yeah, they haven't been able to find goals for a while, man.
Yeah, Brighton away. Look, they've been sneaking in goals, but I think that Southampton has a clean sheet on their hands. Oh, and he's priced at 5.1, and he's owned by 4.7%. And I chose Yoshida instead of Virgil just because he's less money. Van Dijk is at 5.4, and it's too bad for me for the fact that I own Stevens. I've had Stevens since the beginning, and he was doing okay, but the problem was that I didn't know who was going to sit when Van Dijk came in, and I got the wrong end of the stick.
Yeah, it might be time to dump Stevens for now. He's a hell of a player, but with Yoshida being the captain now and Virgil obviously being the premier center back in that back line, I think it might be time to give Stevens a little break.
Well, I have to find a way, just because he started out as 5. And then in the last 4 weeks, he's dropped 0.3.
Wow.
That's huge.
That's massive, Huss. Wow.
Yeah.
You got to drop him ASAP, bro.
I know. And it's just like, I just want him to play.
That happened with me and Willian, man. I don't think I'll pick up Willian unless he gets really, really hot, man. I bought him at 7 and I sold him at 6.9. Took me like that 0.1 to know, all right, it's time to drop him. But
yeah, I mean, the
0.3, dude.
Yeah, I mean, my defense is struggling right now because that same thing's happening with me with Liverpool, where I thought Alexander-Arnold was going to get the starts, but Gomez is getting the starts. I'm like, crap, because he's at 4.3 now.
Yeah.
And I think I bought him at 4.5. And yep.
Might be time for a wild card.
Oh my God. And then, geez, I got Hagaz. I bought him at 4.8. He's 4.7. My defense is killing me this year. And that's my go-to. It's always my go-to. Actually, you know what? Speak of the devil, let's go on to keeps. We got Gomez from Liverpool. He's at 4.5, 2.5% own him. Now, look, everyone's talking about Liverpool, how they're just like all over the place right now. The thing is that they've let in 16 goals in 9 games. But I think a lot of people forget that they've only let in 1 goal at home and 15 away.
By the way, that's the craziest stat ever, man. Wow. What a difference.
And you know what? There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk of people saying that Klopp has to leave and doing this and that, and how people are coming out now. I can't think of everyone's name that have been calling him out. But a few people, Joey Barton was saying how he's going to call him on his BS. He's not going to trust Klopp. It's just like, relax, bud. Like, you're living with taking out from people from behind. The thing is, Klopp, when he first came in, he said that he wanted to make Liverpool a fortress at home again. And he is. That's what he's doing. It's baby steps. It's not as fast as modern football fans want. But if this was 10, 15 years ago, I truly believe that they would give him more time to really try to work his magic, which I think he is. He fixed the offense. And there's people saying that he hasn't improved since Rodgers because Rodgers had the same thing. No, wrong, because Rodgers had Suarez. He's literally the best forward in the world. He also had weaker opponents. Right now, there's so much money in England. Every single team is so difficult to play. Rodgers didn't have that. And he's improving the offense to almost, I think, the front 3, very minus Firmino. But if you put Salah, Mane, Coutinho with Aubameyang or something, we're looking at a class. We're talking about maybe top class front 4. So it's the defense. Once they sort that out, Liverpool will be fine. Right now, I think Joe Gomez will be a shout for the fact that we don't know if Lovren's going to play.
Dude, it's looking doubtful we're going to see Lovren for a long time. He removed anything that said Liverpool on his social media accounts. He removed his profile pic on his Instagram account. He turned off commenting. So right now he's in his turtle shell, man. So I don't know if he's even mentally fit to play, given the amount of abuse he's sort of gotten and being subbed out in the first half. Like, it really rattles players, man. Like, not to get too sidetracked. Like, what was the point of that for Klopp? It's not like he has, plenty of the defenders to cover Lovren. Basically, you're ostracizing one of the only few center backs you have. Are you telling me Klavan is better than Lovren? Yes, Lovren made those 2 mistakes against Tottenham, but like, who do you have that's better? No one, right? So what's the point of crucifying this guy? What's the point of embarrassing him? So it doesn't help Liverpool's cause. I don't get it. I'll never get it.
No, I understand why people don't get it. For me, I'm sort of okay with it for the fact that you made such dreadful errors. I know that if you leave him on, that people can think, oh, maybe he can come back from this. Maybe he can work his way through it.
But take him off at half. Take him off at half. I mean, Martial and Mata had horrendous games the other day against, who was it, Huddersfield, and they came off at half. They should have come out in the first 10 minutes, but they came off at half.
At the same time, maybe Klopp has that mentality of, look, we need to come back right now. If we leave him on till half, we might go down another goal real quick.
That's fair.
And you know what? You deleting photos. I mean, I understand the whole blocking because you may just not want to see it. You know what else helps you? Just not turning on Twitter. Don't turn on Instagram. Don't turn on Snapchat. Except for the podcast, I don't use that stuff. So it's just grow up. It's your job. You did bad at it. To delete things? Oh, come. That's teenage girl type of stuff right there. Like that's not professional, grown ass man type of thing. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
Like that. Look, you did a bad job. You know what? That point got across. But at the same time, in the interviews afterwards, the press conferences, Klopp didn't really go after Lovren 100%. I mean, look, he said that Matip did just as bad as him. So it's just, look, he didn't go just after you. Grow up here, understand that you did a crappy job, and come back next week and, strap up the boots and get out there and do a better job. It is what it is, but I don't know if he's going to play next week where Gomez, he might be playing next to Matip with Alexander-Arnold playing on the outside. Not sure, but I believe that whether Matip and Lovren play or if it's Matip and Gomes in the inside, I think on the right back, Gomez is going to play there at least. Cool. So he has a starting 4. So we definitely got hung up on that one. My bad.
All good.
Selling Phil Jones. Look, I believe in De Gea, but Phil Jones in this type of game with those type of players, I see yellow cards. If you bought him 3 weeks ago when we suggested, you'd be banking about 0.1, 0.2. So it's just time to sell him. Look, you can pick him up and again. We got United, Spurs, Chelsea. Then you got Newcastle, Brighton, Watford. Then you got Arsenal, Man City. I would suggest picking up Phil Jones game week 17 when you face Bournemouth at home. After that, you got West Brom away, Leicester away. That's when I think the points are really going to start coming back in.
Yeah. And Jones has also had a bit of an injury scare. He came off the pitch against Hudders. So the reports say he's most likely going to be okay. But, I would give it, these next 2 games to sort of make sure he's fit and ready to go and then pick him up after.
Yeah, this is probably the second most riskiest. Actually, I don't know how I feel about this one, but it is definitely risky. I'm going with Harry Maguire as my risk pick for a defenseman. Look, he's 5.1 priced. He's 7.4% owned by teams. When it comes down to it, Leicester has a new manager. Puel from Southampton last year. Then you also have Everton. They also have a new manager coming. Well, they have an interim manager. So this is probably the first time. I don't know if there's actually any records of 2 teams facing each other the week of firing their managers. This might be the first time we've ever seen this. And then, so I don't know exactly how Harry Maguire is going to do it, but he's been outstanding for Leicester this year. I think this is the guy that can shut down Everton because Everton has been atrocious when it comes to offense. What's Everton doing right now? They have 7 goals on the year. You got 5 at home. You got 2 away. So, I mean, Everton's not too scary. Moving on to midfielders. And you're just talking about Willian. As much as I love Willian, I really do. I love him. I mean, probably just as much as you because it's just, look, he was connected with Spurs. Then he was connected with Liverpool. And then out of nowhere, Chelsea take him. And it's like, you see all the highlights. You watch some of his games. And it's just like, this guy has the stuff. Same thing with Pedro right now. I choose Pedro to be a buy. He's priced at 7.9, owned by 2% of the match. 2% of the game. And who's Chelsea playing? They got Bournemouth away. Got United at home. And then you got West Brom away. You got Liverpool away. Swansea, Newcastle, West. It goes on and on. Except for United, you play a bunch of teams that have been struggling at the back. And if this guy keeps delivering like he did with that ping, oh my goodness. Talk about clinical. Cavani, watch this guy on YouTube. My God.
Yeah, when he's hot, man. And he's had a bit of a layoff for a while, injury layoff. He's ready, man. He's hungry.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's not even up to him. It's up to the manager whether Conte's going to play him or not. If he starts,
Conte loves him, dude. Conte loves him. Conte keeps Willian happy, so he sort of interchanges the two, but Conte absolutely adores Pedro.
Yeah, I mean, how could you not? He does his job. He's such a class player. He passes, he moves. He shoots when he needs to, scores you the goals. He doesn't say a word that's negative. I mean, the guy's awesome. Every team should be happy to have a player like that.
Definitely.
After that, we have. Oh, I have to go back to them. I hate saying that Fareed might be right. I'm going with the Watford player, and
Be better.
with a keep. I mean, it's not even Richarlison. It's actually
What?
Decor. I'm going with Decor because
Decore.
because he. Oh yeah, I see the accent T now. It's Decor because he's 5.4 rather than 6.3. Look, Decor only has 2 points less than Richarlison, even though Richarlison should have a lot more because of the misses.
Cowishness.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. But Watford, they're playing Stoke at home, Everton away, West Ham at home, Newcastle away. These teams, I mean, actually, out of those four, you're looking at the newly promoted Newcastle that looks like the danger. The next three, we got Stoke, Everton, West Ham. Those are teams that Watford should get points from. And if they want to be in the top 8 by the end of the year, they have to get points right there. So moving on. This one kills me. This one is a selling at midfield is the one and only, the person you've heard all year. You've heard me brag about seeing this guy at the very beginning, picking him up at 5.5 or something. He's now 5.8. The name is Pascal Gross. I mean,
Damn, you're selling him?
Yeah, because he's playing Southampton at home and then playing Swansea away. Now, Southampton away has only let up 2 goals. And then Swansea at home, hold up, rewind. I think it is actually, where are they? Okay, so you get Southampton, who will be going away, and then Swansea, that will be home. Southampton away is let up
2 goals.
Yes. Oh, yeah. So it's 2 goals. And then you got Swansea at home, and it is not too many, but it's
9 goals.
Yeah. But you know what, though? Swansea away has 1 goal let up. So it's you don't know with Swansea.
These are just teams that travel well, man. That's what it comes down to.
And with Brighton, I'm still iffy on them. I really am. This guy, the Gross, he delivers, man. He really does. He's the playmaker on this team. But you don't know about everyone else. If he throws that cross in there, you don't know if that person's going to be on the end of it. You know, you don't know if they're going to put it in the back of the net.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Well, you know what? I mean, I just got a little distracted, but I had to throw the Man United stat out there. 0 goals at home given up against any opponent, but we got Harry Kane coming to the Old Trafford. It's going to be scary. But yeah, side project. Nope, don't get into it, Huss.
Oh, God. I was going to say, okay, never mind. So this is the risk of the week. This is the biggest risk of the week. Maybe the biggest risk that we've done so far. He's priced at 8.1, owned by 2.6%. His managers just got fired. He's going against another team that just hired a new manager. His name is Sigurdsson. This guy, speaking of Swansea, we just got off of them. They were unbelievable. I mean, he was outstanding, not only for Swansea but for Iceland. For Iceland. This guy was a machine. Whether it was just setting up assists, getting a few long goals, getting free kicks. I mean, this guy was outstanding. But for Everton, he has been less than stellar. 15 points on the year, which is rough.
Shocking.
He has 0 goals and 0 assists. And he's played the last 7 matches, and he really hasn't done much. So I'm not sure if it's the manager. I'm not sure if it's him playing up on a higher team. Maybe it's him. Maybe it's Sigurdsson not being the man. Maybe he's not getting enough support from the players around him. Or we could just not like Everton, you know? So it's just this guy. There's so many risks involved, but for a player like him, I feel like he needs to be turning around sooner rather than later. I think he's going to be sooner. especially with the new manager coming in. So if the manager plays him, rather, because if it's me, I don't know if I play him.
Yeah, look, the biggest risk of them all when a new manager comes in is that starting 11 shakeup. Rooney and Sigurdsson have severely underperformed for this team. Now, Rooney helped his case by scoring a goal last week against a difficult opponent. So I think he should be good for a start this week. Sigurdsson, on the other hand, like you said, man, 15 points in the eight or nine games he's played so far. It's shocking for a guy they paid over $30 million to get, man. So I don't even know if he's going to make that starting team lineup. This is a big risk. If you're going to take that risk, make sure you factor that in, read as much as you can this week about the news, and maybe even catch a pre-match press conference. We'll definitely be catching it, or I definitely will, because I love watching that stuff. Love watching the managers playing head games. So if you have a question about Sigurdsson, hit us up. Anyway, social media, email us, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, again, if he plays, I really think he's going to be snapping out of it sooner rather than later. But if I was going in as a manager, I don't play him right away. I sit him down. If he played all these matches in a row and they have not got all the points that they thought, there's only a few players that came in from another team this year. And you know what? They're not delivering up front. I sit him. I try to start somebody else. I try to shake it up. And
you start your boy, right?
Sandro Ramirez. I got to win that bet against Al.
I love it. All right, let's keep going.
So, yeah. So, forwards. All right. The ones that seem to get all the points, the ones that everyone thinks of.
The ones that really matter.
Yes. And even though that you do not like this striker, and even though that you're going to say I'm biased, and even though that you don't think it's even smart to think about this guy, I'm going to pick Roberto Firmino.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I got to say. Yeah.
So, I mean, he's priced at 8.5, 17.4% own Firmino, which is actually a lot higher than I thought. I didn't think too many people were going to have him, but at 8.5, I can see it. Look,
it's all the Liverpool fans from Boston.
Yeah.
Messing this guy up.
Look, this guy hasn't scored since game week 3. When he had a goal and assist first week, goal and assist third week, and then it's been goose eggs ever since. It's just a gut feeling on this guy. It really is. They're going against Huddersfield. Yeah, Liverpool has Huddersfield at home, West Ham away, Southampton at home. I mean, it's just one of those things where you have to feel it. And then with Mane still injured, he's a lock to start with Coutinho on the left, Salah on the right. I mean, with the speed and the creativity that's around him, I don't see how this guy can go much longer without scoring.
Cool. Yeah, I like that shot, man. He scored a couple in the Champions League midweek, and that's 7-0 drubbing against Maribor. So if you watch him play that game, he's still got a bit of finishing about him. So yeah, at some point he's gonna pop, man. He's overdue.
Yeah, and during that match, he actually left a few on the field too.
Definitely.
I thought he could have had a couple more. Keeper. Speaking of this game, once again, we've already talked to him multiple times. You don't know what this guy's going to do. He might be top 5 forward in the world. Get Harry Kane. He's priced at 12.7. He's owned by 41.8% of the game. He's putting up Zlatan numbers from last year. Look, they have the most goals away from home out of all the teams at 12. And then you got Man City at 11. And that's saying a lot that they have more goals than Man City away, because City's just been on fire. And it's mostly due to Harry Kane. Again, you brought up the fact that United hasn't let up any goals at home. And it just if there's going to be a team that scores against them, it's going to be one of these two teams. It's going to be Chelsea or Spurs. And I think Spurs have been doing step by step every year, just going up a little bit more. I think this is the year that they beat United at Old Trafford.
Dude, I mean, this is a bubble, man. They've hit that not quite the boiling point, but they're definitely making noise, attracting the eyes of the world. Now people are actually starting to look at them seriously. Guys like Tom, who's always complaining that, or who's always trying to make the point that they don't win any silverware, therefore they're not real. Dude, this team is capable of winning silverware. I don't know if they'll win the Premier League this year, but they can go far in the cup. They can definitely make a run from the Premier League if they can keep Harry Kane healthy. It's scary, man. I'm nervous. They pumped 4 past Liverpool. I know it's not saying too much. Liverpool has a leaky defense, but the way they did it, that's what that's what makes me nervous, is that they look like a team in control, a team possessed, a team who believes in themselves. And I credit that to Pochettino, man. He's absolutely woken those kids up. He's made them believe that they can play with the best in the world. They go to the Bernabeu, and they actually could have won. They could have won at the Bernabeu. I'm nervous. I'm nervous for Spurs coming to Old Trafford. United's kind of limping into that game as well. They're not playing very well. But, hey, man, this is what the Premier League's about, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's also, like you said, Spurs. This year has to be a year that they get something, because I don't see this team being together. They might be together next season if they don't win anything, but 2 years, zero chance. Someone has to be going after that. They have to start going. And it was funny because I saw a movie on TV the other day, and it reminded me of the Spurs a little bit, because I was just thinking, if they don't win any silverware and then Poch gets fired, but he knows, and he just takes Harry Kane with him to like PSG or something. I didn't watch it, but I saw it Any Given Sunday with Al Pacino and Jamie Foxx. So at the end, spoiler alert, because it's like a movie from 20 years ago, but at the very end, where they both go join that other team together.
Yep.
So I was just seeing like PSG firing their manager, having Poch go and then bring Harry Kane with him to PSG to play with Neymar and Mbappe and probably Coutinho.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Oh my god! Hopefully that comes. I wouldn't mind if that came too, because that'd be real psychic right there. So, anyways, rabbit hole. I'm gonna sell Chicha. Look, the guy. I mean, he's performed like randomly. He hasn't get too many goals, but he hasn't done completely horrible. But I definitely expect him more than 30 points on the year. How many goals does he have? He has he only has 3 goals on the year, because he got the 2 goals against Southampton. So he's only scored in 2 matches all year out of 9. So that's actually pretty horrendous for a player that I thought was going to do very well at West Ham. I wonder if there's almost actually like a curse at West Ham, because every go to West Ham as a transfer seems to do pretty bad. Well, at least in recent terms.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on over there.
Yeah, and then, actually, so the price is 6.9, owned by 14.2%. And if we go after this real quick, Palace, the Man City and the Man United game where they lost, 4-0, then 5-0 or something. Palace has only let up 1.43 goals a game, if you don't count those 2 games. So that's not actually too bad for a team that's doing as badly as they are. I see them come to town. They might score, but I don't know if it's going to be Chicha. The points at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough with West Ham, but Village backs against the wall. They've given him 2 games to steer the ship right. I'm thinking he needs 4 points from those 2 games. So it all depends, man. Will his team show up for him? Benteke, Laudrup needed Benteke to show up for him before he got fired, and obviously that didn't work. So it's time for Chicha to do or die. Back his manager. His manager brought him in, gave him faith. Struggled at Leverkusen, sort of crashed out of there. So it's time to do or die, man. Lanzini, guys like that. Antonio can't do it on his own. That's the only dude on that team who's been a beast the last 2 years. Not counting Payet, but he's the only dude consistently, whether he's playing right back or he's playing forward, gives us everything to this team. Kouyaté as well. Kouyaté's spirit, but he's always hurt.
against Palace very well might be the last time they have a chance at 3 points for 2 months when game week 18 comes, because you have Palace away, which seems okay, but then you have Liverpool, Watford, who's been hot, Leicester with the new managers, so you don't know how they're going to react. Everton with a new manager, so you don't know how they're going to react. You got Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal. So if Leicester and Everton change their ways with the new managers, and then if Watford keep doing what they do, you're looking at 3 points maybe at Palace, and then maybe 8 games later you get Stoke.
That's crazy.
I don't see Bilic lasting much longer at West Ham, and that's too bad because I really like him as a manager.
Yeah, he's the man. He's the man. But yeah, he's been given a fair shot, man. If they fire Bilic, that's one of those guys that won't be, on the air, sort of berating the board and the management and stuff, because they've given him plenty of money. They've given him plenty of games. They even gave him a 2-match warning publicly to let us know that, look, they're doing all they can do to keep this club stable. But yeah, man, Slaven might have lost the locker room. He might have lost, his message impacting the boys.
Yeah, it just comes down to the transfers that they brought in, because once they lost Payet, they brought in Snodgrass, Arnautovic, Chicha. All these players seem to be good players that brought in, but they just haven't performed at all.
Yeah, they got to pay the manager off.
Yeah, Jose Font, Joey Hart. I mean, if you look at paper, if you're playing FIFA and you want a mid-table team, these are great pickups.
Yeah, definitely.
In real life, though, it's been crap.
Definitely.
I feel bad for him. So anyways, risk pick for strikers. Last pick of the day. We got Gabby from Southampton.
Gabbiadini.
Yeah, I can't say his name, so I was going to leave it.
Gabby, I thought you were talking about Jesus.
Yeah. Gabbiadini. Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Gabbiadini. Okay, I just need you to sound it out for me. So,
boom.
Look, Southampton haven't been performing really. Where are they at? They are actually they're 10th, so they're not doing too poor, but they only have 8 goals on the season. So again, 9 goals. They've only let up 9 goals, which is really good.
1 goal a game. Yeah.
That's the second best, besides Newcastle, who has 8, and Burnley has 9. So the second best outside the top 3. So that's still very good by Southampton, but again, by only scoring 8 goals, that's the third best. Third worst in the league. Who do they have coming up? We got Brighton away, Burnley at home. They got Liverpool away, Everton home. With these, I'm not really too keen, but again, Brighton, we don't know. I just see Brighton letting up a goal. You don't know who's going to get it, but Gabby, he does special things when Southampton needs. They need these points, especially against Burnley. That's at home. That's a not a must-win game, but that would definitely be huge for Southampton to win that game. And then again, Gabby, 1, 2, he has 3 goals on the year. Has only scored in 2 games all year. You know what? I think it's time for my shout-out of last year to come back on the team, to get that starting role back. The one and only Charlie Austin. He plays 21 minutes here, 10 minutes here, 19 minutes here, 7, 4, 8, 9, and he still has 1 goal on this season. This is insane.
You love this
guy.
Play
the guy. My God.
If he could stay healthy, he'd play. He's just constantly broken.
But you know what, though? He's been back. He's been on the bench. He's playing. He played 7 minutes, 4 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes the last 4 matches. He's getting garbage time. Put him in the game. Let him see what he can do. He won you multiple games in the past. Give him some respect and play him. I don't care how much Gabby cost you. Or I don't even know how much Gabby cost. I forget. It was something low, actually. But bring Austin on the field. He will score. He does. That's what he does.
All right, fair enough. Let's move to captains.
Fired up on that one. Okay. Jeez. All right. Oh man, it's so hard to go against Harry Kane right now because of the form he's in. I don't. You want to go first? I'm still deciding.
I'm going to go first on this. Captain has to be, for me, a Man City player going against West Brom, which historically is a good defensive team, but this is Man City. Man City firing on all cylinders. I'm going to say Captain Raheem Sterling. He didn't play in the last Premier League game. I think he played in the Carabao Cup, but he's rested. He's basically played only one game this week, whereas Gabriel Jesus, Aguero have played 2 for themselves. So I would captain Sterling this week.
Okay. About this, but you know what? The guy has been top 5 most informed player in the league. I'm going with Salah, Liverpool. You got Huddersfield at home. Look, this is not. Yeah, this is a must-win. This is a must-win for Liverpool because you cannot be falling behind anymore. They're in 9th place right now, and they're taking the recipe of what United did last year. All they're doing is drawing. They have 3 wins, 4 draws, and 2 losses. That's not a top team right there. That's the record of a mid-table team. Hence, they're in 9th. But they're only 3 points off top 5, top 4. This has to be a win against Huddersfield. You cannot draw again. And if there's going to be someone that gets the goal, it's probably going to be Salah.
I dig it. That's a good shout. All right. That wraps it up for Premier League Fantasy Soccer Talk from Matchday 9, hosted by the Podcast FC show, guys, Tiki and Huss. Thank you guys for listening. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter with highlights of all the top games in the world. Shows up right to your inbox. You don't have to go chasing it all over the place. Also, thank you for supporting the show, telling your friends, telling your mama. Please give us an iTunes review if you have a chance to. Those things go a long way, and it helps us keep producing this kind of content for you. So please, I say it again, go to iTunes, go to your podcast app, and just give us a quick little 5-star and keep it moving. We definitely appreciate it. Huss, anything else?
No, seriously, just to add on to what you said, we've been making huge strides in numbers in the last week or two. Like, just keep pushing the show. Thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the downloads, because it's a pleasure. Because honestly, because we put so much work into this and it takes so much time. I consider this another job. I consider it a part-time job that we have to actually pay for.
Yeah.
It's a hobby, but it's something that takes so much time. Ask the girlfriend.
Yeah, we're trying to go pro in this, right? So we definitely appreciate your guys' support. We definitely appreciate you guys listening. So keep throwing us likes, keep throwing us downloads. We love you guys, man, and keep working at this fantasy stuff. We're gonna crack it with you.
Yeah, if you can share it yourself on your own profile, that'd be huge.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. All right, guys, thanks for listening. Peace.